I'm Bruce Marshall, and this is a Marshall Minute Brampton Now update as of May 31st, 2020. This is a COVID-19 special report, a roundup of the past week of coronavirus-specific information for Brampton. Coming up, Dr. Lawrence Lowe, Peel Medical Officer of Health, with some stern words. Masks, I'll touch on that a couple of times. And we'll spy on Ariana Grande in lockdown. Details on that and more coming up in the Brampton Now update. Here's what's happening on the home front in Brampton. We're going the wrong way. That, according to Peel Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Lawrence Lowe. He said Wednesday at the Brampton City Weekly News Conference.
Peel's 7-day moving average of new cases has trended upwards over the last week. And I want to be clear, that is not the direction that we want to see things going in. Our investigation has identified that this is being driven by new outbreaks in household clusters and also centered in workplaces. While we continue to dig down for the root cause of these outbreaks, direct cases to isolate, and trace and advise for contacts on next steps, I want to be absolutely clear that we are far from being out of the woods with COVID-19.
Lowe also had this to say about Peel paramedics.
I first want to begin my remarks by thanking our paramedics for their service. This is Paramedic Services Week. Working hand in hand with Peel paramedics in addressing COVID-19 has been an honor and privilege for us at Peel Public Health.
Further, Dr. Lowe talked about the safety precautions we've got to adhere to beat this thing, including masks.
Cases are spread out across Brampton and across the region of Peel, which is why people must continue to take precautions when you are out and about, regardless of where you might be in the community, and especially when enjoying outdoor facilities that have recently reopened. And these principles include staying 2 meters away from others, not gathering in large groups, practicing good hand hygiene, and wearing a non-medical mask in settings where distancing is difficult, such as on transit and in grocery stores. We must stick closely to these principles, especially as the community gradually reopens, and we must reverse the increase that we are seeing.
On the city enforcement front, here's City Councillor 𝗕𝗿𝗺𝗺𝗃 from the city's Wednesday press conference.
Between May 19 and 25th, there were a total of 56 charges laid under the Emergency Management and Civil Protection Act. We saw an increase in complaints received for residential social gatherings from 163 to 291 this past week. As a result, 25 charges were laid. Additionally, 27 charges were laid related to parking lot gatherings.
And here from Councillor Singh is a recap of the rules.
Under the Emergency Management and Civil Protection Act, social gatherings of more than 5 people are prohibited. This means that a meeting or assembly of more than 5 people who do not live together in public or on private property is prohibited. This also includes parked vehicles as well.
From the local angle to the global perspective, some thoughts on moving forward from the World Health Organization.
The human cost of COVID-19 has been devastating, and the so-called lockdown measures have turned lives upside down. But the pandemic has given us a glimpse of what our world could look like if we took the bold steps that are needed to curb climate change and air pollution. Our air and water can be cleaner, our streets can be quieter and safer, and many of us have found new ways to work while spending more time with our families. As some countries start to reopen their societies and economies, the question we must answer is whether we will just return to the way things were, or whether we will learn the lessons the pandemic is teaching us about our relationship with our planet. Building back better means building back greener.
Friday, Brampton announced we're among the first municipalities in Canada to participate in the recently launched ShopHERE program. Shop Here gives local businesses an expanded digital profile and one-stop shopping for the customer. It sounds like what they're creating is a place to find anything right here in the community, maybe like a mall in an app sort of a thing. Sounds like, anyway. Businesses can apply at the link in comments. A reminder once again from City Councillor Jeff Bowman on his social media that pickup of large items like furniture and appliances is temporarily suspended by the Region of Peel, though you can now put out 2 further bags of garbage in addition to your wheelie bin until further notice. The details on the changes to region garbage and recycling regulations are at a link in comments. CBC had a story last week answering questions on whether a store can insist you wear a mask. The short answer is a qualified yes. Their property, their rules. But there are several caveats to the qualified yes. Those are covered in the CBC story at the link in comments. Here's a helpful piece from the United Nations on masks. I'm struck that they talk an awful lot in this about washing your hands. And have you noticed? We ran out of hand sanitizer, we ran out of masks, we never ran out of soap. Regeneration Outreach hosted a COVID-19 testing site at their Grace Place location in Grace United Church last week. The homeless population present a particularly vulnerable profile for catching COVID-19, so it's important that they get testing. The City of Brampton has asked all employees to get tested. All the city's labor unions have joined with the mayor to ask members to comply. Speaking of the city and regen, Farmer Doug Willans, who also doubles as the trusty city councillor for Ward 2 and 6, and who I just found out is also known in some quarters as Dougie Daffodil, made yet another trip to Regen this week to deliver produce from his garden. One of thousands of backyard gardens in Brampton that now have committed half their yield to the City of Brampton's Backyard Garden Program, the city providing support to gardeners. Gardeners agree that half their produce goes to vulnerable people. Truly, one of the beautiful things that has come out of this crisis. Hey, here's a question for you. Can your organization host a food bank food drive? All of our food banks are looking for extra help. Many faith groups are helping. Churches, mosques, gurdwaras, mandirs, and others are stepping up. In many cases, collaborating. The link to where you can help is in the comments. Here's a little thing I shot a few weeks ago at a drive-through food bank at the Regen Thrift Store, 253 Queen East. Gives you a little bit of an idea of what it entails. So if you can help one of the food programs with a food drive, look them up at the links in comments, please. This Tuesday, Mayor Brown is joined by school trustees Kathy McDonald and Anna De Silva at 2:15 p.m. on his Instagram channel @PatrickBrownONT in a chat with youth about what's going on with schools and their educations. That's Tuesday, June 2nd, 2:15 on the Instagram channel @PatrickBrownONT. Over the weekend, the province announced plans to expand testing across the province. In Brampton, the William Osler Peel site remains the only testing centre. The province also announced Sunday a gradual release of some recreational activities such as backcountry provincial camping and batting cages, to name just a few. The William Osler Health System has released a video encouraging people to go to our hospitals and that they have everything under control now. Here's an excerpt.
In these uncertain times, COVID-19 affects us all. But when you need emergency or urgent care for an injury, chronic condition, or illness, don't let fear and uncertainty decide what you do. At Osler, our emergency departments are safe for everyone, and we are here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to deliver the care you need when you need it most.
At Osler, your health and safety always comes first. That's why we have taken extraordinary steps to maintain clean and safe care spaces for patients, staff, physicians, and volunteers.
That's an excerpt of a longer video that's available on all the William Osler Health System social media platforms. So what have you been doing in lockdown? Me? I returned some empties one day. That was an accomplishment, boy. Ariana Grande? Well, it was a slow start for her. She sort of disappeared from her social media platforms, and then she popped up a couple of weeks ago with a collaboration with Justin Bieber. That is burning up the charts. In the past few days, another new collab with Lady Gaga. Maybe you've seen the promo they did for Rain on Me. It's cute. But far cuter are the outtakes from Ariana's shoot in Los Angeles.
Live from LA! Live from LA! Live from LA! Live from LA! It never hurts.
Lots more tomfoolery just like that on Ariana Grande's Instagram channel. Rain on Me, new from Ariana Grande and Lady Gaga, is at the link in comments. Please subscribe to the Brampton Now Update channel on YouTube for lots of Brampton-specific content and as much of that vital, essential, and factual local information that I can find for Brampton. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you want. Stay strong, Brampton. Brampton strong. And Brampton proud. We're all in this together. I'm Bruce Marshall. Thanks for watching.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.